everybody, Web3 fans. Welcome back to another episode of the ENVELOP Podcast. We continue to explore what's going on in Web3 space by talking with Web3 professionals. And my name is Eugene Crypto MC, and please welcome my today's guest. He's Thomas Negrit, and he's the CEO of Flywallet. And Flywallet, it belongs to TravelTech. It is a Web3 travel agency designed to make travel affordable for all. It combines Web3 financial services and data-driven insights and travel APIs. So sounds amazing. I'd love to talk about, I didn't know anything about TravelTech, so this is the chance to understand what is this realm. So Thomas, it's great to have you on our podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much, Eugene, for having me. It's an honor to be on your podcast. And yeah, looking forward to sharing all things Web3 and see how travel, meshes into Web3, or how Web3 actually makes travel tech so much better and so much more efficient.
Absolutely. So before we dive into Flywallet, I'd love to ask you about your story in Web3. How did you start in this realm? What have you already done? Tell us your story.
Of course. After I studied international relations initially, I took a job at the UN Association as a project manager, focusing mainly on financial inclusion, development projects, how to make finance more inclusive or empower local communities to become more independent. And so a lot of, pooling, and this was in 2017, 2018, where, pooling and community-based assets, were done on a very physical level. And blockchain, blockchain technology is basically digitalizing these processes. And that's really when I started digging deeper into the space. M-Pesa was, used to be a mobile wallet, which kind of copies, emanates the self-custody process of being unbanked, but having assets stored on a device. And so it opened, let's say, the rabbit hole to me, and just going deeper and deeper. And I decided to start my startup, a financial service for travel, to be global. And the only way to offer a financial service globally is through, cryptocurrencies and assets and blockchain. And so really just sticking to my mission, of really empowering people financially, financial inclusion. I've come to, the crossroads where, that future, that reality is with blockchain. And so I really appreciate the space. I bought my first Bitcoins. I'd say I'm a late bloomer, 2017, 2018 is when, things have started really picking up for me, but I'm really happy I entered it, and I don't see myself going anywhere. So great to be here.
Well, it's where great times. Personally, I started my journey in crypto in 2017 in this renowned ICO hype, and a lot of things have been done since that time. Okay, so what excites you most into Web3? People, finances, technology, maybe traveling? I don't know.
No, all the above, Eugene. I mean, what's exciting about Web3 is that there's no, limit. Like the imagination is the limit, as they like to say. So, and the fact that whether it be the people, it's amazing because, everyone is go-getters, thinkers, want to push innovations frontier further. And so it's always energizing to share with, people in the space. But when it comes to, finance, like global finance, a new financial system, or a new way that we perceive value and the way that we share, just that simple thought, basically trickles in every industry. I can talk about travel, but everything everywhere is a transaction. And so Web3 is here to innovate, every industry. I'm an advocate for, seamless innovation. Innovation happens, for the masses, where kind of happens, very organically, where it's an upgrade, just like we saw the transition from cash to cards, debit cards. And just a very simple one is like debit cards to contactless payments, or Apple Pay, or Google Pay with your phone. These things are little small turning points that, I'm really excited about, because we'll see Web3 become more and more used and accessible without really, the consumer won't really notice it, but we will, because that's what we're building. So I'm excited about that.
Amazing. Let's dive into the main idea of Flywallet. What is it, how it works, what market problems does it aim to solve, and how specifically?
Sure. So Flywallet is, as the name mentions, it's a saving wallet, a savings account to fly, to travel. So we help users save monthly or weekly, so they can they can own enough money to purchase a flight. Travel, in my opinion, is the only expense that makes you richer. It's an investment in yourself. And I created this company to really make it accessible. Some countries you can save as little as $10 or 10 euros a month. They want to go on a trip 5 years from now, 4 years from now, 3 years from now. It doesn't matter when, but any destination is within your reach. And so how it works, you can link your debit card or your crypto wallet. At this time, we offer stable coins only, CUSD and CEuro on the Celo network, and soon USDC on Polygon. These assets are basically put into a smart contract that you save and you grow your funds, and then you're able to spend your tokens on travel. So we are an off-ramp where you can spend your tokens on trips, which is a very cool feeling, to spend tokens on a flight. It feels, almost surreal. And just that feeling of booking my first flight with tokens just pushed the momentum forward.
Sounds amazing. Who are the core members of the Flywallet team besides you? I know you have a co-founder. Her name is Alexander, if not mistaken. Yep. What's your roadmap? What are your plans till the end of 2022?
We have an amazing team. Everyone works on their own also crypto projects, and they contribute to the Flywallet project itself, because we all enjoy to travel. So it's great, from all different ecosystems, the Celo ecosystem, the Polygon ecosystem. And our roadmap is looking pretty great. So our first step was, to become a DApp, integrate in different wallets, become like an option to book your flights with your crypto. That was our first step. So you can find us right now on the Velour wallet app, on the BitKeep DApp store also, and anyone with a MetaMask, you can also connect to the platform. On our roadmap is to expand cross-chain. So like I said, we're on Celo. We want to explore the Polygon ecosystem with its stablecoins. We then want to launch NFTs. NFTs in travel are very interesting, because when it comes to either insurance or plane tickets, your ability to be able to collect different destinations and maybe get, advantages in those destinations. It's a space that we're really leaning into by the end of the year. And but the most exciting part of Flywallet is to come is, of course, the Flywallet token. We're taking our time with this, but we really want to approach the travel industry with an offering that replaces the miles as we know them. I'm sure you're familiar, Eugene, with this, air miles, that you can earn with your credit cards. This can be way more inclusive and way more accessible without having to be loyal to one airline. That you can just do it by spending your tokens or staking and earning a Flywallet token.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning NFTs, because we are ENVELOP. We are NFT related DAO. The repping product for NFT. I will ask you later about it as kind of professional question. But because you mentioned NFT, thank you for this again. I personally believe that NFT may represent whatever we like, whatever you think in the real or digital world. How do you see the potential of NFT as a unique tool for representing any unique thing in the world? How and where they will be used in upcoming years?
We're seeing use cases, come, new use cases appear, and trying to experiment and see how it can improve, a user experience in a certain industry, how it creates our relationship to, groups or, communities, and also ownership of, different assets. If I had to say, the future of NFTs is promising, Eugene. We're talking about non-fungible tokens. These are tokens, So cryptocurrencies and multiple, these are also obviously tokens. But I think that the most promising use case, of what a token might be in the Web3 space, will be NFTs, because brands, for example, a brand today that doesn't have an NFT strategy or an NFT direction, I think, is definitely wrong, is not looking forward enough, because loyalty or just, utility, or the spectrum is so wide, I don't want to even, it doesn't do it justice to, kind of box it, because we're all learning, and seeing different use cases that can apply. But I believe that our future, is definitely looking more, NFT based than, cryptocurrency based. This opinion is my own, but I really believe that non-fungible tokens are much more, pleasant and organic way to transact, and we're only getting started.
Definitely, and thank you for mentioning utility, because thanks God we have successfully moved from selling JPEGs, which was so popular a couple of years ago, to the utility. We started to ask ourselves, what the heck is the utility of these NFT that you're been buying and selling for such a high prices? And here comes the professional question from our team. I have to ask you about it. Concerns about so-called smart NFT or NFT 2.0 or dynamic NFT. And this is quite a simple concept we're building here. It allows to take an original NFT, add to it any fungible token inside as collateral for predictable value, and wrap it up with useful features such as time lock or event lock or royalties or rental mechanics, etc. And all these is called wrapped NFT, and it leads to dozens of use cases of utility of NFT and for price predictability in many of niches we're trying to discover the solution. What are your main thoughts on this concept? Do you find it useful? For what purposes?
Oh, I think it's amazing, and it goes to show that we're only, we're still only getting started, like just in the span of months, how much, growth and, and evolution we're seeing in the space, and just also our maturity, our maturity towards the technology we have in front of us, like these NFTs sound amazing. In travel, I mean, I can think of so many use cases where this can be, just practical, even just owning one for a certain airline, for example, and it being able to be used, as a predictable value for a number of flights in a year, maybe, five round trips internationally or nationally, can give you access maybe to a lounge, or maybe for different festivals or crypto conferences around the world. Obviously, the royalties, this is from the get-go, this is part of the NFT logic, but, the ability to be able to transfer or to exchange them and to even rent it, you mentioned that, that would be, incredible. In our community, Eugene, there's so much that can be done and so much that is possible that I'm really excited to being part of the movement of bringing NFTs or bringing Web3 in general to the masses. This is the role that I believe I play in the ecosystem. Flywallet is just one use case of the amazing technology. I just really want to show people, first of all, who are coming into the crypto space, that they can spend their tokens on real services, in this case, flights, travel. But on a flip side, on the other way around, I really want to show the Web2 community or, non-crypto users that this is how cool a company can be when it's operating on Web3, if you want to travel as much as possible, if you want to, discover how amazing travel can be, come see what Web3 can do. And that's really the gateway that, Flywallet is presenting. I also like to place us, on abstract layer. You know, you have layer 1s, layer 2s, layer 3s. Like we're really here to, you know, we're like a gate that brings people into the world of Web3 through a simple experience, which is booking a flight. So if Flywallet can be your first crypto wallet or your first NFT, that's the job that I'm really trying to accomplish here.
So you absolutely anticipated my next question about bringing Web3 to masses, because all the projects from Web3, they are experiencing the same problem. They try to onboard people from Web2 or from even non-Web into their communities. And I love to ask you about the Flywallet community. How big is it now? How to follow or join after this podcast? How do you manage this community? Is it really hard for your personal use case to onboard people from Web2 travel apps and so on, so forth to Flywallet? Whatever you want to share about, how do you attract people to Flywallet?
Absolutely. So first of all, our community is composed of 1,000 members, 1,000 plus members who are actively using the product, saving, who use our Web2 product, you know, and have explored our Web2 product, who like to bring their friends, you know, into this travel community that we're building. People can follow us on Twitter. You know, Twitter is usually where we have our spaces, you know, and we like to exchange with everyone. It's fly_wallet. But our strategy, our approach in really exposing ourselves to the masses is by being welcoming to everyone, you know, like we don't want to confuse. The user experience is central to how Flywallet works. Not the technology behind it, which, you know, is very straightforward for, you know, for maybe us and listeners, but for non-crypto users, the point is that they don't know that they're using crypto because they don't really care about that. You know, like this is the reality of it. This is why we use stable coins, so that, you know, a user knows that his money isn't going up and down, you know, isn't volatile, because you speak to a Web2, you know, or isn't like the first worry they have is, you know, like if I put, you know, $1,000, you know, I want $1,000, you know, I don't want to wake up
using dollars, really dollars. They don't even understand crypto.
They don't need to understand. They don't need to understand it, you know, they really don't. And I think that that's where we, you know, as a community, you know, have to really push that that agenda, that like you have the builders, you know, and then you have the users, the customers, and each one plays its position. Ideally, everyone is made, the world is made up of builders, but that's not how the balance works. And yeah, Flywallet is just really focused on making sure the user experience is as, you know, smooth as possible. So instead of putting Web3 forward, we put, you know, making travel affordable, you know, for all forward. They come in, oh, you know, this is how it works. This is, you know, this happens to be Web3. You know, it's like it's just a small switch in the order. So that way they come into the door. Once they pass the door, they're in, and we know what happens after that. Like it's very self-explanatory.
Absolutely.
But definitely, please feel free to join the community. We're, you know, very, very open, gentle, kind, you know, we're just here to really push the Web3 agenda forward and make travel affordable.
Okay, so all the links are in the description below. So I hope this episode will bring some new users to your community from our ENVELOP community, because the people from Web3, they are, how to say, where they want to eat everything. Some part of the people, they want to all the products they and this collaboration. I call this collaboration by communities. So your community to us and our community to you. And this is how it works. Going beyond of the NFT and token stable coins, how do you see the potential of Web3, of this decentralized user-oriented internet, where everybody may own something which we hadn't before? How do you see it will change our lives, our businesses in upcoming 5 or 10 years? Your vision.
Amazing. These are deep questions, Eugene. You know, we're not beating around the bush here. Absolutely, ownership on the internet, you know, is what makes a person, you know, let's say, exist in a certain space, you know, like be able to exchange, be able to interact, be able to be part of a conversation. And I think Web3 promises or, presents a world of such where each person has something to contribute or has an opportunity to contribute, which is different from the Web2 world that we're talking about. It's not as inclusive. 5 to 10 years from now, one thing that I'm excited about is that although in the physical realm we'll know about them, but borders won't really matter anymore. Transacting internationally in a matter of seconds, being able to deploy a business and have customers from around the world, without even worrying, what their method of payment is. Like, these are going to be huge for, e-commerce businesses, services, and just all around workforce, like maybe employing foreign talent. We're going to create this, it's going to create this community-based, community-based value that is gonna make innovation even more, more fast, even faster and even more consistent. That's my take on the situation. But as you can see in the Web3, every 6 months, every 6 months, there's a huge, shift into, the thought process. But on a 5 to 10 year scale, just to be safe, I know that a global community is going to be more realistic than it ever was, because there'll be no more borders. Global citizens will be more real.
When a newcomer joins Web3 realm, I hope he understands that this being in this realm requires a lot to learn. Ideally on everyday basis, not 100% of Web3 may afford that, but nevertheless, if you are the conscious person of Web3, you are learning on everyday basis. And how would you suggest to learn Web3 for newcomers? And what is your personal learning strategy in Web3? What resources do you consume on an everyday basis? How do you personally learn for Web3?
I personally really follow from recommendations that I see on it can be on Twitter, on some Discord channels. If you really have questions, like, there's a reason we call it, do your own research, because no one's going to do the work for you. If you want to learn about it, these are podcasts that are great so that you can really see the people that are within the community, to really change maybe the stigma that it's all, a scheme or whatsoever, and then be able to follow their pages, directly. But understanding the basic economics, of like how Bitcoin works, proof of work, I think that's like the first, step that you should understand, so that you can see where, how far or how excited, people are feeling about the space. The second thing that I would recommend, is creating a Twitter account, because, on Twitter, like, that's where, you'll see most discussions happen. The thing, look into digital currencies, stable assets, most particularly, like how policies are shifting towards this new way of transacting bank to bank, and really just understand why, how our financial system could be more equitable, on a global level. Like, the thing is that curiosity is innate. We need everything in this world. So we're going to have people who are going to be curious, who want to learn about it, and people who really don't care. And we have to be able to accept that, we can't force people to learn. One thing is for sure is that universities are going to start teaching it. These are going to become, professional. These are going to be professions, whether on the engineering side or the theory, of teaching side. But one has to see that people in high school right now, if there's people in high school listening to this, they are already trading, they're already playing to earn, learning to earn. Like, this is going to be part of our reality. So if you don't want to, be overwhelmed, I definitely recommend, learning about starting with Bitcoin, and then going deeper, into proof of stakes, and then seeing how amazing, seeing the unlimited possibilities that are available. But take it step by step if you're curious about it. no pressure.
Well, and let's not to forget that one of the easiest way to learn about Web3, it is starting to taste, to use one of the product. And here's my question comes: how to start using Flywallet? What steps should one undertake to once you start using it?
Okay. Well, if you already have if you have a MetaMask, a Bitkeep wallet, or a Velour wallet, you can go to our website flywallet.io and connect your wallet. Your wallet should have some stable coins already, as I mentioned earlier in the episode. And you can search a flight and then book any flight that you like. Our saving feature is coming very soon with stable coins, where you can actually earn while you're saving. So build that travel fund. If you are a non-crypto user, you can also onboard Flywallet using your debit card. And if you want to benefit from if you want to reap the benefits of earning, because interest today is mostly possible only with cryptocurrencies, you can just keep the same user flow, but shift onto Web3 very seamlessly. So we walk you through the whole process so that you can become a Web3 user. That's really that's what we're going for, because there's only so much. You can go far with just a regular Flywallet on Web2, but you can go way further with a Web3 or with Flywallet. That's kind of that's how we lure you in,
Sounds amazing and very, very, very easy. So I'll remind you that our links are in the description below. And final question for you, Thomas, for those who are personally interested into action with you, to reach out, how to follow you on the internet, how to reach you for business inquiries and purposes, if it's possible.
Absolutely. On Twitter, you can follow me at TENEGRIT. That's 10 grit. Or you can follow us on Flywallet through Twitter. Please feel free to also send me an email, Flywallet at Thomas@flywallet.io, or through LinkedIn. Definitely always happy to connect there. And one of my favorite things is exchanging, conversating, thinking about the future, making new connections in the space. Like we have to hold each other down, that's what makes the community strong. So if you have any ideas about, how Flywallet, any collaborations, any partnerships that you may have in mind, Eugene, definitely want to talk, how the ENVELOP community can, book flights, in your DAO. But it's this is what we're doing this for, We're trying to set a new example of how business can be done, how communities should be built. And so definitely arms open, feel free to reach out. So on Twitter, TE Negrit or fly_wallet.
Amazing. You will find all the link on Thomas' Twitter and the Flywallet Twitter in the description. You may find it text on this post where you do find this interview on every social media where you're finding. So thank you very much, Thomas Negrit is here, Flywallet, a free travel agency, TravelTech, and Eugene Crypto MC from Developer Radio. Thank you for watching and listening. And please like, share, subscribe, be the part of the Web3 community, join and try to learn a bit and try to use a product a bit, because the practice gives a lot for touching this realm of how Web3 works, because this is another philosophy, not Web2. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. See you in other episodes of the ENVELOP Podcast. Bye. Blockchain, BLOCK chain. Digital money, smart contracts, NFT, IDO, decentralization, transparency, so many opportunities, but so many challenges. Some financial manipulators, by their actions, confuse blockchain solutions and block their development. The idea that the blockchain should bring copyright and royalties protection to the next level is quite old, but the realizations of these ideas are not perfect at all. There is another problem of determining the value of a particular cryptocurrency or NFT. These and other problems need to be solved. Fortunately, the blockchain infrastructure is evolving. My name is Mr. E, and I represent the ENVELOP project. Many things have already been invented in the blockchain today. Tokens, smart contracts, platforms for creating your own coins, NFTs, exchanges for buying, selling, and exchanging all these blockchain resources. ENVELOP is another step in the development of crypto technologies, the protocol that works with NFT and cryptocurrencies. The idea is simple but disruptive. Let's assume you have an NFT, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Using the ENVELOP protocol, you can wrap the original NFT accompanied with several tokens. Technically, you get a similar NFT, but what is the breakthrough here? Once wrapped, the token has a number of additional features that were not available before. The minimal cost appears. It is provided with coins wrapped together with NFT. An asset wrapped with ENVELOP has a number of properties that allow the original author to receive royalties from the resale of that asset. Various rules can be applied to the wrapped token. For example, a lock period for unwrapping. It secures the asset till the determined moment or safeguards it from speculation during the hype period. At the same time, wrapped tokens can be transferred and traded. These are just some of the scenarios for using ENVELOP. NFTs become more popular, and the tools provided by ENVELOP expand the opportunities of NFTs utilization. Wide application possibilities are achieved due to the fact that, in addition to the protocol, the project includes a number of subsystems. The protocol provides functions wrapping and unwrapping. Oracle Mechanics provides asset valuation using analytical algorithms. Index provides a summary assessment of several NFT assets with the common criteria. The project has its own token, which connects all elements of the system. Altogether, this is ENVELOP, a tool in the blockchain world for building modern and secure systems in various fields. Find more info about the project on the website. ENVELOP. Make your NFT valuable. Just practical, no hype.